Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending our presentation today. My name is Annalie Shane, and I'm a technical field trainer with Vivotech. Today, we're going to be talking about Vivotech's newest additions to our ND series NVRs, the ND9323P and the ND9425P. These Linux-based NDAA compliant NVRs are feature-rich and will work well for our SMB customers. I want to first go over the features that are included with the ND9323P and the ND9425P and the demo of some of these features after. If you have any questions, please send those over to trainingna@vivotech.com. So let's start off with some of the key features of these two NVRs. The ND9323P and the ND9425P are 8 and 16 channel H.265 Linux-based standalone NVRs that support up to 4K IP camera video decoding and a local 4K video display. RAID 0 and 1 configurations are supported, and that's going to help provide the data security in case there's ever a hard drive failure. These NVRs have Vivotech's newest generation firmware, Core Plus. With Core Plus, these NVRs include a ton of features such as smart VCA, cybersecurity management, PoE management, and then you can also upgrade firmware and make changes to the camera settings from the NVR's UI and then more as well. Also included is a license-free CMS management with VAS2. Smart VCA cameras are supported, and you can perform event searches and alarm management of our deep learning video analytic technology. Remote and mobile access to your camera views are available with Vivo Cloud and our iViewer apps. And then the last key feature I'll mention is the new web UI. This new web UI is going to support plugin free browsers like Chrome, and that's going to move us in the direction of current trends and also simultaneously protect your cybersecurity. The ND9323P and the ND9425P are great choices for our small to medium businesses. 8 to 16 channels are wonderful for our middle scale surveillance systems. They both have two hard drive bays supporting up to 8 terabyte hard drives, so 16 terabytes total. Also, they support RAID 0 and RAID 1 configurations to help prevent the data loss in the event of a dead hard drive. These NVRs also have integrated 802.3 AT and AF PoE ports, which means it can provide up to 30 watts per port with a max of 120 watts of power for the ND9323P and a max of 200 watts of power for the ND9425P. These NVRs are equipped with the latest Core Plus firmware, and I'll go over some of these features here in a second. And of course, our license free with our Vivotech VAS2 CMS management, which is going to empower our users to set up and manage their surveillance systems with ease. Another great reason why this is a great choice for our SMBs is that you can easily view your cameras remotely with the VivoCloud app and portal. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about Core Plus now. This is an advanced firmware for our ND NVRs that come with so many different features, including cybersecurity management, smart VCA event search, smart search 2 functions, and counting solutions as well. All of this is to provide our end users with a smarter, safer, and smoother user experience. It's also available or only available on our S and V series ND NVRs. Getting a little deeper into the features of Core Plus, let's start off with security. Okay, the ND9323P and the ND9425P are both NDAA compliant. And in August of this year, these NVRs are going to provide cybersecurity with Trend Micro, with the Trend Micro's anti-intrusion software to protect itself from the cyber attacks. Also coming in August, these NVRs will provide cybersecurity management. Okay, this is going to enable the NVRs to receive instant notifications of the security events, from the cameras, and they will understand the type and the status of these cyber attacks, as well as they can acquire the attack information from the cameras. And then they will also support event log lists and then the ability to search for log tracking. The NVRs support VivoTech Smart Motion Detection and Smart VCA cameras. With Smart Motion Detection, the camera can focus on people and then also only people related activities is going to trigger a motion detection event. This is going to reduce the number of false alarms, okay, the false positives whenever it comes to motion detection. It doesn't matter the lighting condition, these cameras can do well on noticing whenever it's just a human. With the smart VCA cameras, multiple rules are supported by the NVR, such as intrusion, loitering, line crossing, and more. The NVRs also support alarm management and event searches of the smart VCA. You can search by a single or multiple event types, and then you can play back the events and then export your search results. The ND9323P and the ND9425P have a new web UI. Okay, this new design lets users log in and operate with ease and then provides a better user experience. I can't wait to show you guys this. The new web UI supports Chrome browsers without the need for web plugins, which will in turn help protect your cybersecurity, helping to solve issues from the system administrative authority, safety risk, your browsers, and operating system updates. You can view up to 16 channels in the live view and up to 4 channels in playback. Also, there's this new feature called Scene, and this is where you can create a customized display group for different areas of live monitoring. Now provide you with easy troubleshooting with the customer support feature. So customer support is going to allow for the VivoTech tech support to rapidly debug your NVRs. All you have to do is just export the logs by pressing one key, and then it'll provide that the log, and then you just provide that to the tech support team. Okay, you can also provide remote access to tech support by turning on the remote access feature, and then by doing this, an access ID is going to be generated, and you just need to provide that to tech support. And then they can remotely access your NVR to analyze the cause for the errors and then debug it. Don't worry, if you forget to disable that remote access, the feature is going to automatically disable itself after 14 days. Some other great features included with these NVRs is that they support up to 4K cameras. So this way, the user is not going to miss a single detail when monitoring or recording. These NVRs are compliant with ONVIF Profile S, so they are able to connect with third-party cameras. Both of the NVRs provide you with PoE management, which is going to allow you to easily troubleshoot problems. You can control the power budget for better operation, and then also set port priority settings to ensure that the most important cameras are always on. You also now have more options on which camera settings you can make changes to from the NVR locally, such as WDR. You could turn WDR on and off, day or night, and then also white balance. Make changes to the exposure, privacy mask, and adjust the lenses as well. All right, let's get into some of the physical product information. Here's the dimension of the units. Both units are the exact same size. The front panel is also going to look alike. It's very similar, or it is the same, other than the model number on the front. It has LED indicators for power, network, and status, and then a USB 3.0 port, which is going to help you with the faster exporting of your videos to a thumb drive. The NVR's back panels are also very similar, except for the ND9425P has 16 ports of PoE, and then the ND9323P has 8 PoE ports. Also, just to let you know, brackets are available for these units and can be purchased separately. All right, let's go over A hard drive installation very quickly because our VivoTech NVRs do not come with hard drives pre-installed, and this is going to allow our customers to customize the hard drive size to their project specifications. Okay. Installing the hard drives in these NVRs is very easy. All you have to do is open the lid by removing the 6 screws around the case, and then you're going to first connect the SATA cables, the data and the power to the main board. Then you're going to screw in the screws to the bottom of the hard drive, but make sure that you leave enough room so that you could just slide it into place on the bottom of that case, and then just tighten it down with your screwdriver. Next, connect the SATA drive, or excuse me, the SATA cables, both the data and the power to your hard drives. And now you're ready to connect your cameras to the PoE ports and then set up your NVR via the local console or remotely with the web UI. All right, so let's go ahead and do a demo of these NVRs. I want to show you the different features that come with these NVRs, and then I want to show off the new web UI. Okay, so first we're going to log into the local console first. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Okay, so this is if I had a monitor connected to my NVR. This is the image that you would see. This is my live view with 4 cameras. All right. And I could change my layout of my cameras, how I want to view them. Here's all the different options that I have. And first, I want to go into the settings menu. Let's go ahead and click on settings. You notice that it looks very similar to our older firmware as well. So here's our camera connections. At the bottom right is where we could reboot, set up a reboot schedule, and then also shut it down. And then here you see our storage. On the left-hand side for our menu items, we have camera, alarms, system, user, hard drive, network, applications, and information. So let's go ahead and go into the camera management. As you can see here, I already have 6 of my cameras set up. Guys, on Tuesday, our technical manager is going to be giving a 15-minute demonstration on setting this system up from the beginning. So please join us for our 15-minute webinar with Roy Pangilinan on Tuesday. He's going to go through the initial setup of this. I've already have it set up. I'm just wanted to show you guys the features of this. Okay, so I have my camera management. If I want to add a camera here, I could just click on the plus. For now, I'm just going to add one of these cameras. From the console, I'll add the other one from my web UI in a second. So this one, let me go ahead and add this camera. Go ahead and apply. And then we'll go back. And you'll see that camera 7 is added. It is defaulted, um, factory defaulted, so it doesn't have a username and password. So that's why it pulled it up without me having to add in anything. If I want to make changes to the camera position when on my live view, here's where I could edit the camera position. This is my live view screen, and I would just drag and drop everything into the proper um, where I, the position that I wanted that camera to be viewed in. Same as normal, we can make changes to our recording schedule for each camera individually. I can go to schedule if I want it to record on events. I would just check this box, choose what kind of events I want to record on, and then select my schedule here. Under camera media, this is where I can make changes to my compression. This new checkbox here for apply new stream settings. This is going to allow the NVR to choose your camera stream settings for the best NVR display. Okay, so under video, here's where I can make changes to my mainstream and my substream. I can choose my frame size, my compression, frame rate, and then smart stream as well here. And then if I need to mute my microphone on any of my cameras, that's available here. Under image, this is where the Core Plus new features come into play. I can make changes to my camera settings from here. So if I click on image, I would choose my camera that I want to view. And then here I can change my video's name. I can choose the color, power line frequency, orientation, switch it to black and white mode, and IR cut filter. Go under image settings. Here I can change my brightness, saturation, and white balance. Under exposure, this is where I can turn on and off my WDR. Focus if that was available for this camera, lens if that was available for this camera, and then I can also add a privacy mask to this camera from here. I want you guys to take note, WDR is available, but from the local console. A lot of these settings that I can do here to the camera is not available in the web UI. You'll have to do it from the local console UI. And as normal motion detection, I could set up my motion detection boxes here and it saves it to the camera. If I have a PTZ camera here, I could set up my patrols, port forwarding. This is available to do from the local console, and this is so I have access to my cameras without having to go to the camera's interface. I have it directly from the NVR. And then also I can update my camera's firmware. Great thing with this, so simple. If I go to the website, Vivotech's website, and I grab all of my firmware for all the different types of cameras that I have, and I stick all of those packages inside of one folder, I could do a batch upload. So if I click on batch upload, I already have a thumb drive in there where I had pulled all of the firmware files and put it inside of this one firmware folder. So you'll notice here I have FD9365, the FE9582, and the IT9360. So I can't choose them individually because I'm doing a batch upload, but if I just choose that one folder and click on upload, and it automatically puts it with the appropriate camera. So much easier than doing each one individually. And then all I have to do is click on update here. Next, I could set up alarms. Remember with Core Plus and these these NVRs, they support our smart motion detection and our smart VCA cameras. So I can create alarms with the smart VCA cameras. So let's go ahead and I will show you that I've already created one. So this one I just named VCA, and then let me show you, go through the steps. So step one, it wants to know the status. Let's go ahead and enable the alarm and we'll name it to VCA with a trigger duration of default 10 seconds. And then here we're going to set up the trigger. So I want to choose the FD9365. And here's all the different options that I have available for the FD9365. So I want to be alerted whenever there is line crossing detection and unattended object detection. Next is what do I want to happen if there's a trigger? So I have a bunch of different options. I can send an email, set off a buzzer, do the digital output, send to VMS, start recording, and then this one I just have it set to Vivo Cloud app notification. So anytime I have um, one of those line crossing or loitering detection, it's going to send me an alert to my Vivo Cloud app. And then you'll set your schedule. For this one, I'm just going to do default of all day, every day. And then click on finish. So now anytime I have line crossing unattended object, I'm going to get a Vivo Cloud app notification. Okay, under here, under system, it's going to give us our information. This is where you can set up your time and system name. Maintenance, this is where you're going to update your firmware and your device packs. POE management, Okay, allows you to easily troubleshoot problems, right? You can control the power budget for better operation, and then also set the port priorities over here. So if I have a very important camera, say let's say camera 7 is very important, then I want that to be on high. Always make sure that one is on. All right, Vivo Cloud Service, very easy to set up Vivo Cloud with our NVRs. Just go to System, Vivo Cloud Service, and then click that button. And then here's your um, QR code and also your key to enter that into your, and then very easy troubleshooting with tech support with the customer support feature. Okay, so right here is our one button to push to get your debug logs that you can send into tech support. And if they're unable to fix your issue with just those lists, then you can give them remote access, okay, just by turning this on. It's going to randomly generate the key that you'll need to provide to tech support. And then here you'll see that it expires on June 11th. So if I leave this on, this will automatically turn itself off in 14 days. And you'll notice here, if I turn it off, just take a look at the last FUX8. I'll turn it off, and then let's go ahead and generate another one. You'll notice that it's always a different one. Okay. Then we have our users, storage. I already set this up. I have two terabyte disks in here, and they're set up in a RAID 1, so we could either do a RAID 0, which is striped, or RAID 1, which is mirrored. So because I have two terabytes in a RAID 1, I only have 2 terabytes usable, so I can lose one disk and not lose all my data. Here we go with IP. Now, what I want you to notice here is at the bottom is the PoE DHCP. With these NVRs, they have a DHCP server for your cameras that are going to be plugged into the PoE ports in the back of the NVR. Okay, it's going to give you two options for the two different networks. So you'll see you have the option of it being on a 10.1.1.1 network or a 192.168.2.1 network. Okay, at this time, I have it set up for 192.168.2.1 network. So whenever I go to cameras and then management, you guys notice on this camera 7, it automatically received an IP address of 192.168.2.9 as this one's plugged into my PoE port in the back while my other cameras are not. Then, of course, VivoTech does provide you with a free DDNS in case you do not have a static external IP address. And then they provide you with the safe100.net, very easy to set up. You'll just create the name and then email address and then give it a password. And then down here under service is where you're going to have your ports that you'll need to forward for remote viewing. And then if you guys are going to be connecting this to your app like iViewer, or you're going to be connecting it to a CMS, VAS2, this is going to give you access to that. So you need to check allow access. Here's your ports that you'll need, and then you'll need to set up a password for your VMS. All right, and then we have applications, and then finally under the settings, I'll go show you the information. This is going to show you what version firmware you're running and what device pack you have on here. All right, let's go back to live view. I want to show you the Smart VCA event searches. So from here, we're going to go ahead and go to search. And here's all the different types of searches we have. We have a time search. So if I just want to look through video for a certain date and time, I could do that here. If I want to search for alarms like the ones that we just created. Okay, so I had one already created. That was motion detection for my MS, and then VCA that I showed you how to create just a minute ago. So let's go ahead, and this is just for our alarm. So we'll start on the 20th through the 28th. Let's go ahead and search for all the cameras. And this shows me that I had a line crossing detection, motion detection with the MS9321, and it goes ahead and gives me a playback. And then down here is where I can export the video clip as well. The next menu is going to be our Smart VCA event search. Okay, let's select one camera or multiple. So let's go ahead and go with all. We'll choose a date and time, event types. Here's where we can select one or multiple. Right now, I just have all the events checked off with line crossing, intrusion, loitering, face detection, missing object, unattended object, and also crowd detection. So we're just going to search all of them and then click on the search. It's going to give me all the different results that I have. Here we have an unattended object that's available here. I have 3 different pages that are available for the results. I could play the results over here in this window, and then I can also select different clips and export them to my USB drive as well. All right, let me go ahead and show you the new web UI. So first, what you'll need to do is use Shepherd to get your NVR's IP address. Okay, so with Shepherd at this time, it will open up um, your NVR's UI to Internet Explorer. So right now, I want to just demo how to get into that, or I want to demo the Chrome's UI. So let's go ahead and I just want to get the IP address. So 192.168.0.241. Open up my browser. And here we go. That's a nice fresh login page, very clean. And you can choose the language, and if you remember me, and then for best performance, some suggestions here. All right, so plugin free can be used on a Chrome browser and on Edge. H.265 technology is supported, so you can view your cameras through with the H.265. Gives you a 4x4 live view display. So if I were to go here at the bottom, I could choose my different displays on how I want to view all my cameras, up to 16 channels. And then whenever we go to playback, I could do 4 channels, which I'll show you here in a second. Also, the different icons that we have available. So if I want to take a snapshot, I want to go to live view. And then also if I just want to enlarge this one camera, I could do that. Okay, if I want to, on the right-hand side, it's my control, so I could see that it's my IT resolution I'm viewing it at, and the codec, and the frames per second. If I want to manually record, that's my buttons here. I can fit the screen with by ratio. But what I'm viewing right now is this. I want to view the mainstream, I can do that. But just remember your decoding capabilities whenever you're on live view, excuse me, on the local console, and then also whenever for your PC's spec. Okay, so just keep that in mind whenever you're trying to view too many cameras and too high of a resolution. And then we also have digital zoom down here. Next is display. This is going to give us our status bar so we could see if the camera type, name, and IP address, and then the camera type. Okay, on the left-hand side, let me show you these menus. So this is our live view. We have our playback view, and all you have to do is just select 4 different cameras. Let's use the date and time. Here, we can just say 11:18 in the morning. All cameras in view. We can time align here, go back 10 seconds, go forward 10 seconds, etc. And then whenever I find what I'm looking for, I can export here. Under search, I can search by alarms again, right? So let me show you this. Same as we did under the local console, we'll have the choose the date and time, the alert, and then the triggers. And then we can do the search. Shows me I have motion detection and then also line crossing. The event search is going to give us our smart VCA events. We could do all cameras and then let's go ahead and search that. And here you'll notice finally I'll go over settings. Notice that whenever I go into settings, it brings up a different tab for my camera settings. Okay, if I need to get back to live view, just click on that first tab and then I can go to live view. So let's go back to settings. Very similar look and feel to what we had with the local console display. Go under camera management, adding a camera, very simple. Just click on that plus sign. And then we can go ahead and add this camera and click apply. Go back and you'll notice that camera 8 has been added. We don't have to worry about username and password because I have it defaulted at this time. So I need to go and set that up with my inside the camera. Same thing as we saw before, the recording options and then setting up the schedule, media, where we could do the auto stream settings and then choose what our mainstream and substream settings are. Image, pay attention to this. Notice that I only have a couple of things I can make changes to. Flip mirror, black and white or color, brightness, saturation, and that's it. No WDR, no exposure. Don't you cannot set up your privacy mask or anything. So that needs to all be done from your local console. Motion detection, we could set that up. PTZ if I had a PTZ. Port forwarding, remember how I was telling you I can get into the camera's UI by setting up the port forwarding. So all I have to do to get to that camera's UI is just click here, put in my username and password. And then it's going to log me into my camera's UI. And then I can do updating firmware for my cameras from the web UI as well. Same thing with the alarms. I already created to help out with troubleshooting problems and then controlling your power budget. Vivo Cloud Service, enable and disable it from here. Customer support, remember the debugging logs, do that from your computer very easily and turn on and off the remote access. All right, guys, that is going to conclude my demo and presentation on the ND9323P and the ND9425P. If you have any questions, please email us at training